Hey, it's Dianel. And recently I've been catching up on Riverdale. I personally used to love Riverdale. Like, season 1 was pretty fire. Like, I enjoyed it. It was a nice concept. Not much to critique there. Season 2 came out, and I was like, okay, alright. Not bad, but doesn't do season 1 justice. But again, that's just the case with many shows. Like, the following seasons don't usually compare to the first season. But then season 3 came out, and that's when I was like, what? Huh? What's going on here? What is happening? I was just confused. At one point I was just like, okay, I can't. I just stopped watching it. I was just like, what even is the point anymore? Like, this show is not great right now. But we're in quarantine now, and I have nothing better to do, so I decided to catch up on Riverdale a little bit. And yeah, I watched season 3 from where I stopped, and I also started watching season 4. I'm all caught up. And yeah, basically today I just want to talk about what the happened to Riverdale.
Okay. Now you just sound cuckoo pants.
Okay, so I'm gonna just start talking about like the endish of season 3, or just like the concept of season 3 in general. Like, I just want to understand. If you're a Riverdale writer, I don't know why you'd be watching this video or how you found this video, but please explain. I just don't get the Gargoyle King aspect. Like, I don't get why that was ever introduced into the show. First of all, let's fast forward a little bit. So Chick was actually the Gargoyle King. They couldn't have chosen a more irrelevant character than Chick. We thought he was dead, and it wasn't like, oh, wow, we thought he was dead type of thing. It was just like, wasn't he dead? It was such an underwhelming finale. But anyways, just that whole Gargoyle King thing in general. Like, that concept, like, what? I know the Gargoyle King was supposed to be a human. Like, he's human. But the things that happened on the show made him seem supernatural. And that just screwed up the entire narrative of the show. Because season 1 was this murder mystery. Cheryl's brother died. Someone killed him. Who did it? And then season 2 was this serial killer that was going around murdering people. Who's doing it? But then, sure, the Gargoyle King is killing people. It's like a game, whatever. But it was just like so unrealistic that it was insane. Also, the farm. Oh my god, the farm. You know when I knew this show was gonna go downhill? I'm telling you. When they threw Juniper and Dagwood into the fire and they floated above it. I was just like, oh, cool. So this is what we're doing now with the show. This is where the show is heading. Great. And then Alice with the farm. Oh my god. Alice was so annoying all throughout season 3. And then we find out she was an FBI informant. And then also, Betty has a brother who works for the FBI. And then Betty starts working for the FBI. And then towards the end of season 3, like, that whole organ harvesting thing was so weird. And I guess this isn't, no, it is still like taking a jab at the writing of the show. But what the was that? Like, he harvested organs and sold them like in a black market. So then Betty and her brother Charles start working and try to, and Alice, Betty, Charles start working to take down the farm. And then the farm tries to escape, and then Edgar, you know, the mastermind behind the whole farm. After he's caught, he tries to ship himself off the planet. He was going to get into a rocket, and shoot up into space. Like, how does that make sense to anyone? It was, I don't know, it was just so infuriating. But yeah, overall, season 3, it's just, like, it should not have happened. So, let's talk about season 4.
Hello, Daddy. Hello, Mom.
Okay, so the overall storyline of season 4, compared to the shit show that was season 3, was actually not that bad. Like, when I saw the finale of season 3, when they fast forwarded or like alluded to what was going to happen on season 4, I very much enjoyed that. They were just like, oh, having fun at the table, at Pops, whatever, talking about how great of a senior year they're gonna have. And it flash forwards to Betty, Veronica, and Archie, like, around a fire with blood on them. And it's just, like, alluding to Jughead's death. And I was like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. Cool. And then season 4 had this whole how to get away with murder thing, you know, where they, like, fast forward and like spoil it a little bit for you at the end, like what's gonna happen, and then all those little chunks build up, but they don't quite tell you everything, but you have to watch all of it to know like how it's all gonna plan out. I love when shows do that. So when I saw Riverdale was doing this, I was like, oh, okay. Nice. It's actually not that bad of a storyline. I do want to say though, someone's storyline that I did not enjoy very, very much in this season was Cheryl. Oh my god. Cheryl Blossom. So apparently, at the farm, the reason Cheryl went into that cult thing was because she was seeing her brother and talking to her brother. And now we know that they were being hypnotized with sound or whatever. And it was actually her brother's dead body that was being used by Edgar. And she thought it was actually Jason. And then we find out that Miss Cheryl, she stole the body. And she just had him chilling in the chapel of her house. And then basically throughout season 4, it's just her chilling with her dead brother and talking to him. And then at one point, this like doll comes into the equation, and apparently it's possessed. Like they think it's Jason because they buried Jason and then the doll appeared. But then the grandma is all like, it wasn't Jason, it's your other brother. You guys are actually triplets, and you absorbed one of the triplets in the womb, and now he's haunting you. That type of stuff. But then we realized that was just like a whole ploy, and like Cheryl's mother was just trying to fuck with her, blah, blah, blah. Because at one point, like this therapist comes into the school to talk to all the students, and Cheryl tells this to the therapist, and the therapist is like, oh no, you're not crazy. This is what's happening. Which honestly, I don't know how she came to that conclusion. Like sure, she's licensed, but like with like the way Cheryl was talking, it seemed like this girl was insane. But no, she was just like, oh no, it's fine. Someone's just like around with you. Okay, sure. Cheryl's mother was like around with her with the doll part and like the absorbed twin aspect of it. But Cheryl did, in fact, take her brother's body and put it in the chapel and converse with him and just act like he was alive. Like she did that all by herself. It wasn't a ploy from anyone. She did that. Maybe she's not crazy because of that whole triplet and doll thing, but she is a little, like, off, but whatever. Therapist says she's fine, so she's fine. So, when she realized that she shouldn't have her brother's dead, rotting body up in her chapel at home, she said she was gonna bury him. But you know what she did? She called up the gang, Archie, Betty, Jughead, Veronica, Tony, whatever, and then they went to Sweetwater River, and this girl put her brother in a canoe, set him on fire, and pushed him into the lake. That's how she buried him. And then the psychologist had a nerve to say that she wasn't crazy, but whatever. And then all throughout this season, Betty's trying to go see if she has a dark side and whatever, and then we realize she actually does have this serial killer genes that Polly was talking about at the end of season 3. She blocked out a memory that she killed her cat, and then she remembers it. She does this hypnosis thing with her brother, and then she like remembers whatever. And then at one point, Charles was like, oh, you know what you should do? You should stop yourself from doing that. She like does the hypnosis, and she's like flashes back to this time where she's about to hit her cat with a rock in the head. And apparently Betty's like, stop. And the little girl, like little Betty, is just like, what am I supposed to do now? Betty's like, go play. And then so Betty stopped her young self from killing the cat, which canceled out Dark Betty. But I'm just here posing this question to anyone and everyone. So you're telling me that Betty apparently time traveled? Because that's what this whole thing alludes to. Like, she basically traveled in time. That's what she did. And fine. Whatever. Fine. And then that whole tickle business storyline, that was so serious for no reason. Like, at first you're just like, oh, cool. Kevin's trying to make money. And Fangs is also trying to make money. Ooh, fun. And then it gets serious. When Reggie, gets into it, he's like, oh, tell the guy that you're going to do it by yourselves. Like, we're going to do this by ourselves. We're not going to give him shares of the money. And then Kevin goes and tells that to the guys. And then his gang, jumps him. They jump Kevin because of a tickle business. It's so serious. It's such an odd storyline. I feel like Riverdale cannot be serious. This season truly would not have been that bad. It was a whole murder mystery thing again. Who killed Jughead? Was it Archie, Betty, and Veronica? But that was too normal for Riverdale. And they decided to weave in Cheryl and her rotting brother, Betty being in the FBI, which isn't that bad, whatever. But then, like, that whole, like, time-traveling elude thing. Like, you might say it's just like, oh, it's like hypnotherapy. But, that seems like time travel to me. Because she went to the... I'm not gonna get into it again. And then also that tickle business thing with Kevin and how serious the guy was of making sure they gave him shares. Because if not, he would cut Kevin's fingers off. And then there was a musical episode. Riverdale loves doing that. And I just want to insert some clips that were just, like, concerning. Take a look.
And it speaks to my entire generation. And we're numb, yes, but also screaming on the inside. We're Generation Z.
No one talks like that. I promise you, Gen Z, we don't speak like that. And then also this scene.
Oh, the jughead that was brained with a rock? I'm sorry I'm different now. I guess death just changes a person. Inside I'm hollowed out, outside's a paper shroud, and all the rest's illusion. That there's a will and soul that we can wrest control from chaos and confusion. A collage!
I remember seeing this scene trending on Twitter, and that is the reason I decided to make this video. Because I was like, okay, what happened? What do you mean? Like when he said, I guess death changes a person. I was like, huh? Since when did you die? And resuscitate. Oh my god. And then the two most recent episodes, just Betty and Archie just have the audacity to fuck up their friendships and relationships because now they're trying to like be together. Even though they're both in relationships and all four of them are like very, very good friends. And they're just being incredibly selfish. It's just so annoying because they've done this before. They've literally done it before. Like, it's happened. We're tired. I think that's all I have in me to rant about today. I hope you enjoyed me ranting about Riverdale for however many minutes straight. If you did, make sure to give this video a like and comment down below what you think of Riverdale. Let me know in the comments. Subscribe also if you like this video and if you want to see more of my content, and see you in the next video. Bye.